My baby mama blocked me from seeing our daughter for 3 years. Yesterday, she came crawling back. Kelsey disappeared with our 4-year-old daughter, Ruby. One day, I showed up for my weekend visit, and the apartment was completely empty. I called Kelsey 50 times, and every call went straight to voicemail. I filed a missing persons report, but the officer said, joint custody means this is civil. We can't help you. I hired a lawyer who spent 6 months searching. He finally called me and said, I've checked everything. No trace of them anywhere. The state kept sending my child support checks back marked undeliverable. Then they sent me a letter saying if they could not locate her within 90 days, the case would be closed. I called my lawyer again. If they close this, do I lose my rights? He said, not immediately, but you need to keep paying. It's your only legal connection to her right now. So I kept sending those checks even though they came right back. I drove to 3 different states knocking on doors. One cousin opened the door and said, I haven't seen Kelsey in over a year. I'm sorry. Every single morning I would stand in Ruby's doorway and whisper, I'm still looking for you, baby. I promise I'm still looking. The first year almost killed me. I spent every free moment searching online databases and calling every family member I could think of. Nobody had heard from her. One aunt picked up and I begged, please, if you know anything, just tell me Ruby's okay. She said, honey, I haven't talked to Kelsey since last Christmas. I wish I could help you. Another cousin told me, she blocked all of us months ago. We don't know where she is either. I tried tracking Kelsey's phone, but the number was disconnected. Every lead turned into nothing. I could barely function at work. My coworker asked me one day, are you okay? You look exhausted. I said, my daughter's missing and nobody can find her. She just said, I'm so sorry, and walked away. Nobody knew what to say to me. I could barely sleep. I kept thinking about Ruby, wondering where I was and why I stopped coming to see her. The guilt was eating me alive. Then the state sent me a final notice saying the case had been inactive for 18 months. I called my lawyer panicking. Am I going to lose my parental rights? He paused for way too long. Technically no, but after 3 years of no contact, a court would probably terminate them anyway. I felt sick. So what do I do? He said, keep paying the support. Keep trying to find her. Document everything. That's all you can do. I met Diane at a courthouse hearing. She came up to me after and said, I saw your case on the docket. My ex took my son 2 years ago. She was the only person who understood. We started talking and eventually dating. One night I broke down and told her, I feel like I'm betraying Ruby by being happy with you. Diane held my hand and said, you're not betraying her. You're surviving. And when you find her, she'll need you to be okay. When Noah was born, I held him and started crying. Diane asked, what's wrong? I said, Ruby's never going to meet her brother. Last night, Noah was splashing in the bath and yelling, Daddy, look, I'm a shark. The doorbell rang. Diane went to answer. Can I help you? Then I heard Kelsey's voice and I felt like I could not move. I walked to the door and Kelsey is standing there in expensive clothes with perfect hair and nails. Ruby is next to her wearing a wrinkled dress that is way too small. Ruby looks at me and I can tell she does not recognize me at all. Kelsey does not even say hello or apologize. She just says, I need you to take her. My boyfriend proposed, but he doesn't do kids. Too much drama. Diane steps forward and asks, how did you even find our address after 3 years? Kelsey says, I finally registered my new address with child support last month. Got your address from them. Then she says, this is just temporary until after the honeymoon. Diane's voice gets cold. You're doing this because your boyfriend doesn't want Ruby around? Kelsey shrugs. It's only a few months. I look at Ruby and ask, what do you want, sweetheart? Kelsey snaps. She's 7. She doesn't get to decide. Ruby whispers, I want to stay with my dad. I get down on my knees. Do you remember me, baby? She nods. You used to make me pancakes with chocolate chips. Mommy said you didn't want me anymore. I look up at Kelsey. You told her I abandoned her? Kelsey rolls her eyes. I had to tell her something. I told Kelsey to get out. Ruby found her stuffed rabbit in her old room and started crying. My lawyer said Kelsey won't get her back.